Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Yo, man, is Big Walt trying to be Laila Ali and Remy Ma? That's just a question. Because she's decided to make a significant physical change. Now, we know she's under a lot of pressure. People say things and not very friendly when it comes to Big Walt. Seems to be a lot of focus on her attention by herself and others. But the fact that she's cutting down to 160, it just makes me wonder if she's looking at someone like Remy and saying, man, this is what I'm competing with, to be honest with you. Although many people believe Papoose and Remy are done and over with, they understand how Claressa can look at Remy and maybe feel uncomfortable. Because Remy, she looks good, okay? They also understand how she can feel a kind of way when she sits there and she takes a look at Laila Ali. Now, this is Laila Ali with her husband. But again, look at these women. They've got it. They're attractive, okay? So this is Claressa, who wakes up every day and has to deal with people, giving her the business over this woman. And then, pretty much every day she wakes up because she's in boxing and she got to deal with this one. Now, neither one of these women have done anything to her. But I think just because the way they look, that makes Claressa very uncomfortable with her own, within her own skin. But for her making this significant change, of course, she has a fight coming up at 160. But you got to wonder, why is she really cutting this weight? Now, I've done other videos, but I sit here and we just have conversations. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. But weight changes in boxing are rarely random. There's always a reason. There's something, And it usually reflects one or more goals. Pursuing championships. Claressa's already been a champion at 160. So why go down there? Seeking better matchups. Maybe at the lower weight classes, there's some better matchups, but Kate Scott is not one. Maybe she's trying to extend her career by going down there and fighting at 160. Maybe she feels she'll get some fights that maybe fans will get behind, and that gives her a few more years of more what fans may feel are competitive fights. And then maybe she feels, cutting weight will improve her performance. Maybe she starts to feel a bit sluggish. Maybe she starts to develop dead leg at heavyweight. Now she feels like, all right, let me get back down where I'm more agile, light on my feet. Or maybe she's just preparing for opportunities beyond competition. You see, I don't know. But there are some saying maybe she is out here competing with the Alicia Baumgartners, who has a very, nice physique. Laila Ali, who has a very nice physique, and Remy Ma. And the thing is, Laila and Remy are way older than Claressa. And they got their shit together. So maybe Claressa looking at herself like, yo, I'm supposed to be a young tenderoni. But ain't no guys out here breaking their necks over me the way they are when it comes to Laila, Remy, and Alicia. And even the ladies show them more respect than they show them the kind of respect that I would like. And they don't show it to me. So at 160, I am telling you right now, when Big Walt gets down to 160, she already showing off pictures. Wait till she get down to 160. Big Walt gonna be a fool. She may run around here butt naked. I'm telling you. Was that the clumps or whatever? Where the man, Eddie Murphy, man, went and got spandex, everything and shit when he drank that magic potion or Norbit or what? Not Norbit, it was the clumps, right? Whatever the hell that shit was. The Nutty Professor, was it the Nutty Professor? Where he got that magic potion and lost all that weight. The man with like spandex, everything and shit. You watch Claressa, she gonna be a fool with it. She gonna be a fool with it and she gonna draw all the attention to her body. You watch it, man, please. What you gonna say now? What you gonna say now? Over here? Over here? Man, please. Papoose, pap. Number one. I'm always the number one. I'm never the number two. She gonna be taking Remy's line. But the question isn't why is Claressa cutting down to 160 pounds when it comes to boxing. It's really what could this decision mean for her career, okay? Now, is she chasing legacy? Look, some would say she's chasing legacy, man, but I don't know about that. She's returning to a division where She's already had success. Maybe that reopens opportunities for meaningful fights and additional championships. You know, I don't know. She will win. She will beat Kate Taylor and pick up those 2 titles. But I think for many great fighters, legacy remains the strongest motivation late in their career. But Claressa is not a regular fighter. She's dealing with a lot of pressure every day. She's created the attention. She has the attention she wanted. I don't think she likes it, though. But everybody's on her. And one thing that they're on about is her appearance. So I think her motivation may be for her career, but I really think it has a lot to do with how she watches these women and the comparisons that are being made. And maybe she's in a competition with them alone because they don't seem to be too worried about anything Claressa Shields doing. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's not just about adding a major accomplishment at 160 and picking up titles again. Maybe the accomplishment is getting down to 160 and being able to come out here and wear more revealing clothing and feeling more comfortable, and having fans and observers look at her and maybe now say, Big Bo's looking nice. Maybe the abs popping and she could come out there and kind of, try to look. Maybe she hoping she's going to look like this right here, Or maybe she hoping, she going to try to look like this right here. I'm telling you right now, because it seems that Claressa Shields tries to emulate more of Remy's style. So I'm sure Claressa may end up coming out here dressing like this. Just got to wait and see how it all plays out. But I understand the discussion about her going down to 160 and possibly trying to, outdo Laila, outdo Remy. And I think ultimately that ties into long-term business planning, I believe 100% Claressa's thinking about retirement. And she may be trying to build a business that's connected to what Laila Ali is doing. From fitness to apparel to nutrition, wellness, coaching, media, public speaking. Claressa could be trying to take the Laila Ali blueprint and say, if I'm going to do this, I need to look the part. Because, look, I'm going to tell you, we all adults here. They say the first impressions go a long way. But the first thing people see is your face. Some people see your big-ass belly, or they see someone who's in shape, but that's what they see. And people judge you off your physical appearance. You know what I'm saying? They judge you. And I'm not saying it's fair. That's just our reality. And Claressa Shields has been getting judged for quite some time, and I think that explains why she has all the ornamentation on her, decorated herself like a Christmas tree from time to time, from the wig, the earrings, the makeup, the boots, the everything that she buys and wears, and even the vehicle that she's driving down and speeding around and, get out the way, motherfucker, and all that shit. Man, please, beep, beep. And it's like a production, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all performative. You know what I mean? She doesn't, in my opinion, she seems to be more worried about what people think. But what she's doing could be part of the long-term business planning, because she's thinking about what people think and how people watch Laila and they respond to Laila and they support what Laila's doing. They buy her seasonings. And Claressa could be trying to, copy the Laila Ali blueprint. But I do think when you have someone who looks like Remy, looks like Laila, I think those physical conditions can complement whatever venture you're trying to get into, particularly if an athlete wants to represent a fitness-oriented brand or launch one of their own, or maybe the goal is to become a sex symbol. Maybe you want to be a swimsuit model. Maybe you want to go out there and do fitness shows. Whatever Claressa is after, only she knows. I think the strategy can only take her so far and can only take her across so many sports, because attitude is everything. And I think that's the one thing, if in fact this is what's going on here, she got to look at the attitude of Remy and Laila. There's something they're doing right behind the scenes for them to be up in a way, and just the momentum they've gained and continue to gain is just nonstop. So the appearance is one part of it, but the attitude, the reputation, the brand you're building, That's a whole nother part. So Clarissa's got to understand that. Now, when it comes to health and performance, it could be another thing. We don't know what's going on with Claressa, health-wise. You know, who knows when she goes to the doctor's office? I don't know what goes on in her family, but she could be predisposed to different things. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she has to cut the weight because it's, if not, she could have some issues going on with her heart, diabetes, high blood pressure. Who knows? But there's a reason to me for the sudden weight cut, especially to go from, 175 plus the weight division, which I think she was weighing well over 200, all the way down to 160. So it could be a life and death matter that we don't know of because she won't say anything. But I'm just saying, you just don't know. And I'm telling you from experience, you see people out here just all of a sudden cut weight. They're either sick or they have to, or they just say, hey, I want to finally get my ass in shape. It has nothing to do with that. And they want to look and feel good about themselves. And that's what it could be. But again, reducing weight successfully often requires careful planning. And she's been trying to cut weight. Well, she's been cutting weight for, I think she said, like over 5 weeks. And then she has the 12 for allocated to training. So she would have been cutting weight by the time the fight comes for maybe 4.5 months, maybe 5 months. Okay, you gotta listen when she talks. She tells on herself sometimes. And she tried to correct that shit, but I caught it when she said it. I caught it. Let me see if I can find it here. I don't like messing with people's stuff people put out, but I'm gonna play this part for you because I was like, because I caught it. I caught it, and I was like, she misspoke. She just told on herself. You know what I'm saying? But let me see if I can find that while I'm talking to y'all, because we're just chilling anyway, right? This phone here drags ass. Let me see something. Okay. But she said something, and I'm like, she misspoke here. Where she told on herself about how long she's actually been working out, trying to cut the weight. And then she came and she said, well, it would have been a total of 12 weeks. I caught it. And anybody who's ever, told a lie, you can tell when someone's not being truthful, man. Anyway, I'll continue. I'll play it as that comes up, man. The internet is out here tripping and shit. Yeah, I'm still waiting on it, whatever. But you got to improve your nutrition, man, if you're trying to cut weight. You got to think about recovery, hydration, and you don't want to have any medical oversights. So just looking at Claressa, people tend to forget that she's a veteran in the game. She's been fighting 10 plus years. So maybe the fact that Claressa is a veteran, she's been doing this for a while, maybe she's trying to make some refinements to these areas that her career is going to continue progressing. Because at a heavier weight, the recovery is probably a lot more difficult. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm pulling this up right now. The recovery is probably a lot more difficult. Okay, here it is. Let me pull this up. Turn the volume down. Let me find this part right here. It could be what? It could be something else. That recovery is brutal when you're so heavy. At the lighter weights, the recovery would be a lot easier. Okay, I think it was at 2 minutes in the video. But I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna play it for you because y'all tell me what y'all think. It's some damn boy, these commercials are ridiculous. Okay, let me go here. I think it was 2:38.
Easy, but once it's made,
I'll tell you.
I'll still, fight how I fight and dominate how I dominate because I'm still keeping my power and doing my strength conditioning training and working out multiple times a day. So it's all a science to it. Science.
And have no sex. That's what I don't know.
Let me go back a little bit more. Because she kind of told on herself.
I represent the culture. They respect my accolades.
I'm going to let it play.
How 70% of women come and support me, like
it's gonna be like 2 minutes. I'm just gonna let it play.
When you see girls or people disrespecting me, it's like that's just hate for me.
We are the Morning Hustle. You know what it is, baby? Morning Hustle Show on and popping. We're here, and listen, we always have guests in the building, but today is different because we don't always have world. Yeah.
One of my favorite boxers, and one of the favorite that I trained, Kyle, if you didn't know.
This is the Morning Hustle show. So go watch the interview on their channel.
Trained. So tell them about it real quick.
I'm gonna say it again. Wallow 2.0. Wallow say he trained me too.
Yeah, that's hilarious. When you was young, you probably don't even remember. She don't remember. Yeah, she don't remember. I remember about 3. She came in.
No, thank you.
They got to go to an age that they'll remember.
Right. Thanks for pulling up on us today, man. We know you're getting ready for a big fight. It's going down August 15th in Atlanta versus K. Scott. We're gonna make it 19-0.
Absolutely, and I'll make it 21-time world champion. K. Scott got 2 belts at 160 that I want.
You want them belts?
You want them belts?
Yeah, I want them belts.
Yeah, you gonna get it.
That's what everybody's talking about. The fact that you're dropping down 3 weight classes
Yes.
for this particular fight. Is that something that you
Now listen to what she says.
worry about a little bit as a boxer? Because we know that obviously different weight classes mean different styles of fighting at times, and you know what I mean. The fact that your body fluctuates through weight classes can make a difference in your performance. Yes.
Losing weight can definitely make a difference in your performance. That's why I started camp so early for this fight.
Listen, she said she started camp so early for this fight.
We 7 weeks out, 47 days right now.
We're 7 weeks out, 47 days right now.
But I've been in camp for about at least a good 12 weeks already.
But I've been in camp for at least a good 12 weeks already. Did you hear that? She's been in camp for a good 12 weeks already. Now watch her try to clean it up.
What I'm saying, like, it's going to be a full 12 weeks by the time the fight comes. So I get...
You see she tried to clean it up right there? Now listen again. Let me take this back a little bit. It was right at 2 because I don't want to hear all this shit again. Play from right here.
Weeks out, 47 days right now. But I've been in camp for about at least a good 12 weeks already. What I'm saying, like, it's going to be a full 12 weeks by the time the fight comes. So
Claressa has been in camp trying to cut weight for 12 weeks already. And there's still 7 weeks, until the fight. So she would have had like a 20-week training camp. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's actually smart to cut weight. You know what I'm saying? Start cutting early, because what she was in was a fat girl camp. And that's not anything disrespectful. That's normal. And the good thing is she started early. So now she's at a point to where she's within the window to where she should be safe to cut off whatever little bit of extra weight she has to, but at the same time be able to focus on sharpening her skills and other areas instead of starting camp 12 weeks out before a fight. And the first 10 weeks is just trying to cut the weight. You know what I'm saying? So words matter, and you got to listen. You got to listen. And remember, that's the Morning Hustle show. So go out there and at least watch the video. Y'all could subscribe to them if you want, but watch the video. But listen to what's being said. Now, as far as personal motives, look, a lot of public figures are often compared with other athletes and celebrities. And that's what I think Claressa is looking at. Laila, I think she's looking at Remy. I think she looks at Alicia. And I think a lot of the decisions that she's doing, some would say it's jealousy. I think it's a little bit of jealousy. Some would say it's rivalry, maybe with Alicia, but I think it's some jealousy there too. And the desire to imitate someone unless they have clearly said that themselves is something most people don't want to mention, but I think it has a lot to do with that. I think Claressa is trying to, imitate a little bit of Remy, trying to imitate a little bit of Laila, trying to imitate a little bit of Alicia. I think there's some jealousy there. I think there's some rivalry there. And I think at the end of the day, those internal motivations are showing up. And I'm just telling you, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just think when she gets down to 160, she's going to mention all 3 of those names. She's going to mention Remy's name. She's going to mention Alicia's name. She's going to mention Laila's name. She mentions all the names anyway. She don't say much about Remy, but she had somebody call. I'm going to make an assumption. Somebody called in the other day. I let them talk. Now, I'm not going to say what all they were saying, but if y'all follow the channel, it's the one who was talking about she was a pimp. She said a lot of shit, and while she was talking, all of us were like, where are you getting this from? But now we sat back and we've been able to kind of process what the caller said. that caller, I believe she called on behalf of Claressa because she was saying some real disgusting things about people. And it didn't make sense because no one has ever heard the shit this person was saying. So that was just, we think was Claressa having someone call into the show because people know I let them talk and say some disparaging and some discouraging things about Remy. But you know, that's her way of coming out and discharging her frustrations. Is she knows she can't say much, so she could be having other people come out here and say things. But the bottom line, when it comes to Claressa, she got to understand the importance of authenticity, man. You know, one lesson that appears repeatedly when it comes to sports marketing, which it sounds like Claressa's trying to do. She got to understand audiences tend to respond best to athletes whose public image feels authentic and has the best attitude and energy surrounding them. And when you get someone like Claressa who may be trying to pursue fitness ventures and different business opportunities, media work, or additional championships, the consistency between their actions and their public identity often strengthens long-term credibility. So with everything that she's doing right now, it's not going to matter. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to matter if fans don't buy into it. Because right now they're looking and saying, man, she's just trying to be like Laila. She's trying to be like Remy. She's trying to compete with Alicia. So she get down to 160, the love that she's hoping to receive, she's not going to get it. Because I listen to what the ladies say. Everyone knows her champion don't care. It's a conversation. I do what I do, make my videos, and life is good at the end of the month. But you know, I enjoy the shit's entertaining to me. But the one thing about them, they continue to bring up Laila Ali. Laila becomes part of the discussion just because she successfully expanded her career beyond boxing. And even after retirement, you know, what Ali was able to build, that public profile from television, health, wellness, entrepreneurship, public speaking. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, so a lot of fans are looking and saying, well, Claressa could be trying to go this route, but I mean, the shoes are just way too big for her to fill, and she's just done so much damage trying to tear down Laila Ali and her father and the Ali last name that they just feel that no matter what Claressa tries to do, she's just not going to get there. You know what I'm saying? But they do point to Laila as an example of how an athlete can transition into broader lifestyle and business opportunities. So someone like Claressa Shields or any other athlete trying to pursue fitness, nutrition, apparel, or wellness ventures, they're going to compare them to the path with Laila Ali. But the reality is, Ali is one of the most visible examples of that type of transition, but she ain't going to get there. Claressa had to understand. She's done way too much damage. Way too much damage. But hey, good luck if that's what she's trying to do. But there's no competition between Claressa Shields and this woman. There's just no competition. Now, let's talk about this woman, Remy Ma. Remy Ma just out here breezing. She ain't thinking about nobody. But now you got all this brand comparisons and all this bullshit going on, and Claressa's a rapper and Remy's a rapper, and Remy's kind of seen now as a bit of a sex, what's that called? Not a sex, what they call a sex symbol, right? Even though her getting up there in age and shit, but they see her more and more of a sex symbol now than ever before. I'd say before she wasn't even seen like that. Now they seeing her like that. I listen to the guys and the girls. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know when I watch these women, I don't look at them like that, you know? But I hear what people are saying. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, Remy, god damn, boy, getting hungry. They want to make a Remy sandwich and shit. I'm like, all right, okay. But her name continues to come up. We are talking about boxing, and her name comes up because of Big Whoop and Papoose Pat. Right now, he looking at Remy. You can't tell me he ain't. I'm a man. I'm telling you, you can't tell me he ain't looking at her saying, damn, boy, she's still the number one. And I'm sure Claressa feels that. You know, I'm sure she feels that. But Remy has remained part of the public conversation because of, you know, widely reported events involving her and people connected to Claressa Shields. So there's always some kind of craziness going on. And then you got Papoose right there and how Claressa is. I've seen texts and stuff, the stuff she sent to Remy. It's just all bad. The bottom line is Claressa just wants to have a child. She wants to be Remy. All right? She wants to be Remy. And that's why people, the fans, are drawing connections between the two. She wants to be Remy. She wants to be the wife to Papoose, which Remy is. And she wants to have a child for Papoose, which Remy does. You know what I'm saying? But, for me, I still try to separate public discussions from assumptions about what either woman is thinking or feeling. But I do think Remy doesn't give a shit about anything. She focused on herself, her child, and, blowing up like the World Trade. I think Claressa is the one out here who's looking at Remy and kind of obsessed with her. I think she's obsessed with Laila. I think she's obsessed with Alicia. I think she's obsessed with trying to get the public's approval and get validation. And I really think deep down she feels this is the move to make, is to get herself down to 160, not only for fights in her career, but really so she can come out here and feel like she's in competition with these women who all look spectacular. They all look spectacular. And the thing is, only Alicia is close to her age. I think they're the same age. Close, damn near the same age. But Remy and Laila, they're closer to my age. I'm 51. They're in their late 40s. You know what I mean? So she's competing with these old heads, these grandmas and shit. That's crazy. But anyway, I'll tell you this, man. There's a psychology behind reinvention. And I think, man, when someone like Claressa Shields and where she's at in her career, she should be really looking to kind of make a few refinements, go after the big money, then sail off into the sunset. But that's not what's going on. She's trying to figure out, how can I win the crowd over? And this is my opinion. How can I win the crowd over? How can I compete with Laila? How can I compete with Remy? How can I shut Alicia up? Because everyone's talking about she's cute and she's this and she's petite and she's small. If I get down there, maybe people will look at me like that. Like, I don't know about all that. But I do think she needs to think about how her life's going to look after competition. Really think about her attitude and what it's done to destroy any business she's trying to build. She needs to really think twice about trying to remain relevant, because she's going to always have the attention. She's always going to always be famous, but it's not going to be for the reasons that she wants. And as far as long-term financial stability, I don't know what's going on. I ain't in the woman's pockets, but seems to be a lot of hands in that goddamn cookie jar over there. So only she knows. I don't. I'm just having a conversation. But it is what it is, man. She just needs to focus on performing at a high level, be consistent, and try to build a brand that feels authentic, and really to apologize to people. And don't do it for them, do it for yourself. Because if Claressa really wants to try to reestablish her brand, because her brand has come known for the wrong things, if she really wants to try to recreate or reinvent, that means she had to recreate or reinvent her brand. And she's going to have to be authentic. There's got to be some positivity there. And then we'll see if she can be up and away. But if you ask me, I'm a positive dude. I don't wish bad on no one. I'm just telling you from my experience. No matter what you try to do to reinvent yourself, you know what I'm saying? Rebrand yourself. I'm telling you from experience. It's damn near impossible to do that when you've caused so much chaos. And that's just being real. You look at these weirdos who, something as innocent as being, this is a true story, and I'm about to get out of here. 20 years old, out there dating a girl 17 years old, right? This happened to a subordinate of mine. The parents were cool with it, right? But he cheated on her. But the parents were cool with it. They knew he was 20, young boy, been in the military 2 years. She was 17, about to turn 18. The age isn't that far off, but hey, he shouldn't have been messing with her. But went to the parents, they were cool with it. They were both kids. Parents, he'd come over, hanging out, one family. Anyway, he cheated on the girl. Father didn't like it. All of a sudden, turned his ass in. And boy, oh boy, man, he went through some shit. But the bottom line is, after everything he went through, that shit has haunted him wherever he went. I felt bad for him, because none of us knew what he was doing. That just when shit hit the fan, that's when people get in trouble. That's when they come to you for help and shit. And I was like, okay, he broke it down to me, and then I saw what the parents were doing to him, and they stuck it to him. And I don't know what's happened. It's been a while, but the bottom line is him trying to reinvent himself and rebrand himself. Nah, once the word got around what happened, he was always labeled as somebody, who's a bit of a weirdo and thing with young girls. Nobody wanted to understand that story. And I'm just saying with Claressa, when I watch her shit is so out there as far as the destruction she's causing, just trying to be the villain. Even though a lot of us understand, okay, she's just trying to get fights. She was trying to get fights, thinking she could be the next Mayweather, Mike Tyson. But the reality is, not everybody's going to look at it like that. They just see you as an asshole. But they don't like you. So you can rebrand, reinvent. They ain't letting that go. Mike Tyson, man, most of us love Mike Tyson, but there's some people, they ain't letting that go. Nothing about Mike Tyson. Mayweather, they ain't letting none of that shit go. That's just kind of how it goes, man. You know what I'm saying? So she's just got to deal with reality. The reality is most people aren't going to be ready to let it go. So she can try all she wants to be like Laila Ali. Try all she wants to be like Remy Ma. Try to look like them, whatever it is. Get involved in the things they're doing. The reality is, when it comes to looking like this, good luck. When it comes to looking like this, good luck. Because I'll be honest with you, genetically, I just don't think she can get there. But I hope she gets to wherever she's comfortable and it makes her feel better. And she can stop worrying about comparing herself to these people because they ain't thinking about her. Keep cool, I'm in the breeze.